Hi, folks. This is Mark by Mark A. Foster, Ph.D. for the Institute for Dialectical Metarealism. Let me read to you a story, and then we can talk about it afterwards. The story comes from CNN. It is a concerning story, at least to me. Here is the headline. Rescuers say no survivors found at crash site of helicopter carrying Iran's President Raisi. That is new information. Up until now, they did not know whether there were survivors or not. They were still trying to locate the site. Obviously, now they have located it, and nobody has been found alive. I'll read to you the story. It says search and rescue teams that reached the crash site of a helicopter carrying Iran's president, Ebrahim Raisi, and foreign minister, Hossein Amir Abdullahian, said they found no survivors. Iranian state news agency IRINN and semi-official news agency Mer News reported on Monday. This is a developing story and will be updated. So let's talk about that a bit. I have seen what I am going to say mentioned a bit, but not that much, and not in the way that I'm going to talk about it. Here's my concern, and it may be totally unjustified. Who, if anyone, was responsible for the crash? Now, bear in mind, aircraft from Iran crash frequently. Part of that is because they don't have up-to-date supplies. They can't replace broken equipment because of the restrictions on them. But my concern is this: if, and please keep if in mind, if some other country is responsible, and say that other country is Israel, that is my concern. Again, I have no evidence to back that up. It is purely speculative on my part. But it seems a bit too coincidental for my comfort. And so that is basically where my head is at on the story. I have not seen any story, any news source address that concern specifically. There were allusions to it in one story I read, but it was not addressed head on. And so that is what I am trying to do, address that possibility head on. Now, bear in mind, there is no evidence for what I said. There is no evidence that the plane was booby-trapped. It might very well be that the plane simply was defective and it crashed for that reason. It would not be the first time in recent history that an Iranian aircraft has crashed. So that would seem to be the most likely alternative. Okay? That would seem to be the most likely alternative, that actually it was just a regular crash because of poor equipment and inability to replace defective parts. But given the time, given the fact that we just had this situation where Israel bombed the Iranian embassy in Damascus, Syria, and then Iran bombed Israel, or attempted to, not really successfully, but attempted to bomb Israel. And then Israel bombed Iran. Given that configuration of events, that is why I am concerned. There may be no reason for concern at all. I may be entirely off in left field, and that is most likely the case. Please bear that in mind. I have no separate information or special information on this. I am only reading the story from CNN, but I think that is something to watch carefully. What will Iran do if Israel, and I can't think of another country that would have done this, if Israel was responsible for the crash, which resulted in the death of the Iranian president? Now, there is a line of succession in Iran, and so somebody will immediately replace the president, and then I imagine there will be other moves after that to select a permanent replacement, maybe have elections. So it's not like a disaster for Iran. It's a disaster for this man and the other people on the aircraft, on the helicopter, who were killed, and for their family members. And I feel bad for them, and I send them my best wishes and my prayers. But it is certainly of concern if Israel was in any way involved in this crash. But again, don't believe me because I know nothing. I would suggest just watching the story as I've been doing and see what emerges. For the time being, this has been Mark by Mark A. Foster, Ph.D., for the Institute for Dialectical Meta-Realism. Have a pleasant day and an even better day tomorrow.